How do you think you progressed this week?
Just ups and downs. I don't think I have figured out by any means. But it's training camp. Some of the stuff we're going over for the first time that we briefly went over through OTAs. So getting the reps on the field, seeing it, and really just learning as I go on. I mean, it's a progress. It's really the reverse of the playbook right now, just getting reps with it and getting comfortable with it. That's what you have to do. You can know it, but until you really get comfortable with all the stuff, it's still a struggle.
John, you
it'll be more natural under the lights, so to speak, when you get in a game situation?
Always for me, it's been I've been better in the game situation I feel than I have in practice. But I have to come out here and get better at the plays and get better at the reps that I'm getting. So, I mean, that's my main thing. Just keep getting better, and then when it's time to go out and play football, it's time to play football.
Johnny, you're such a competitive.
You haven't gotten reps with the one.
No, not at all.
Johnny, you're such a competitive guy. Talk about that deal at the end when offense versus defense for the orange jerseys. You guys are 0 for 2.
Yeah, it's a competition that Coach Pett obviously threw in to get spirits live at the end of practice and to get people energized and bring a competition factor to it. Because I mean, we sit out there and go against each other all day, and then when it's time to go, there's another level that it gets to. So right now we're 0 for 2, but we're striving to change that, and then offensively we have to execute and run our plays and do what we need to do to get the ball in the end zone or get the ball to where we need to get to win the competition.
Hey Johnny, you're such a creative player. Does practice sometimes seem confined to you that you just can't let it loose like you play?
No, practice is time to get better and hone in on your craft. And there will be times in games and situations in games where things break down, and obviously it's not practice, there's not coaches on the field, and it'll be a lot different. But practice is what it is, and we have to get better.
Shanahan said today that not one of you guys is ahead of the other at this point. Is that encouraging for you right now?
I mean, he's the coach, so I mean, what Coach Shanahan goes. So I don't know if it's necessarily encouraging, but it's really I'm not worried about one or the other being ahead or anything. Right now, it's me making sure I know what I need to know to get out here and execute and run the offense and not have any mistakes. I mean, once I go through a couple days with non-mental errors or getting to where I need to be every single time, then I'll feel a lot better. Nothing that really one ahead of the other, who's here, who's there. That's not really on my mind at all. Right now, it's me versus the playbook, and there's nothing else. Got to know the stuff to even be able to come out here and execute everything.
Is that why practice sometimes looks ragged? Is because you're still learning the playbook, you're learning some of the guys? What would be your explanation for why the offense is struggling?
You're talking about specifically with my group?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a rookie. I mean, I don't have all this stuff figured out. I don't know the ins and outs and every little nook and cranny, and sometimes there's a little twist on a play, and you can go in there and forget to say it in the huddle, and then from that it changes the whole dynamic. So some of these times, some of the plays I've ran for the first time, and really going back into it when we run them again, just make sure not to make the same mistakes twice. But it's a process for me. It's not something that I should just come in here naturally because I played well in college and just know how to run this offense. It's a complete 180 from everything that I've been used to, and it's going to take time. It's a process coming from a spread air raid system in college to a pro-style system that's very unfamiliar with me as far as terminology and routes and being under center a lot more, but it's not something that I can't handle. It's not something that I'm not going to continue to strive and work for to try and get better at.
Johnny,
what are you really comfortable with in the playbook so far? Conversely, what do you still feel you need to work on that you're not comfortable with? And what plays in particular that they call that really gets your excitement about when you hear a call?
I mean, I can tell I'm a lot more comfortable and familiar with day 1 and day 2 install stuff just based off we've done that a couple more times than we've done stuff towards the back end of the install. So the things that we put in first and got to come around 3 or 4 times of doing it, obviously I'm going to be a lot more comfortable with that. So the things in the earlier stages, I'm obviously more comfortable. Getting in shotgun on 3rd and down, obviously is just a comfort zone for me, but I'm not saying that I'm not comfortable under center or anything like that. It's just obviously it's what I've been used to for the past couple of years, and really that's where I'm at right now.
Johnny, I've read that you guys didn't really have a true playbook at A&M. It was more like a game plan thing. Is that true? And just how big of an adjustment is it from that to what you're dealing with now?
It's definitely a bigger playbook. We had installs and the same stuff at A&M that we do now. It's just, I mean, one play can be this big, and then our play in our playbook can be this big now with tags, and one little tag can change the whole dynamic, like I said. So it's just different. It's just, I mean, that's really all it is. It's just different wordage and different verbiage than what I'm used to.
Do you still feel like at this point you can win this starting job?
Right now, I'm not even really concerned with that. I'm just concerned with making sure I lead my group, try and get better and more comfortable with these guys, and everything else will take care of itself, whatever the case may be. I want to be a team player and a guy that can help this team get better, whether it's not playing this year, playing this year, whatever the situation may be. I mean, I'm about this team, and I want what's best for this team.
Hey, Johnny, what's your relationship like with Brian? Like, how's the interaction with you guys during this competition?
It's good. It's good. I mean, it's just, we have a very friendly, very fun quarterback room. Brian, I'm learning from him. He's a guy that was in a system that demands a lot in New England, and he's a very intelligent guy that he knows his stuff really well, and you can tell. I mean, he's a professional. He's been doing this for a while. So for me, it's encouraging to have a guy like that in the room. Him and Tyler both, who have been in different systems and know how to adapt and how to go through training camp. Like this is my first time, obviously, so not used to this amount of length during the day of being up here, all the film, all the stuff. So it's different. To have Brian and Tyler in there as well is really nice. But mine and Brian's relationship has been just as normal as everybody else in the room. I don't feel any tension or anything like that. I mean, he's helped me in situations, and I'm trying to learn from him.
Have you picked his brain, and how receptive has he been?
I mean, I think I pick his brain more by just seeing him get on the board. He's asked questions. It's always better for me to take reps even when I'm not in. Whenever he's asking the question why, or we saw this, and this, then I can learn just from being in the room and just hearing what he says and the type of questions he's asking.
When you list the adjustments from A&M to here, it's a long list. Is it asking too much for you to be ready to play week 1?
I mean, I think I'll play whenever these coaches decide that I'm ready. I don't think there's any rush. For me, it's whenever Coach Pett and Coach Shanahan and the staff here decides that. I don't think they want to throw me into a situation that I'm not ready for or something that I can't handle. So I don't know if they drafted me necessarily thinking that I should come in and start week 1. I think they wanted to see where I'm at and see how I progress, and hopefully they're happy with how I'm progressing. If not, then obviously I need to take it upon myself to step my game up and continue to learn the stuff at a more rapid pace.
When you do get in there, when you do get in there for the scrimmages and the preseason games, how much freedom do you feel like you're going to have to run around and do whatever you want to do and kind of just be Johnny, or are you going to have to stick to their script?
I think for me, I'm going to go through and I'm not going to have a lot of freedom. I mean, I think that I'm going to go run the plays that I'm called. We'll have certain checks that we can do that are allowed within our offense, and then if something's not there, something breaks down, then I think I'll be able to quote unquote go what you say and do what I did in college a little bit and be smart about it. But obviously in preseason games, the goal is to move the ball down the field at all costs, and obviously try to play within the offense, and then when things break down, that's obviously where I've been good in the past. So I think it'll just come natural, and it's just go out and play football and try to execute the offense.
As your interaction has developed with Boyer, is there anything that's surprising you about him that you didn't know or expect when you got here?
Obviously coming in, I didn't know much about him at all. So I just kind of knew who he was. Got to watch him play pretty well in the games that he played last year, just briefly, and. So I mean, I didn't really know a lot about him. I knew he'd been in the league for a little while, and he was a veteran. So I didn't have any preconceived thought or anything about Brian. And when I got a chance to come in and meet him, I thought he's been great towards me. He's been a great teammate, and just continuing to learn from him.
Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Johnny.